welcome. I'm Mayor Gerald Aalbers, speaking to you from the heavy oil capital of Canada, the city of Lloydminster, which sits directly on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. We are Canada's only border city, fully a part of both provinces. Our diverse and dynamic bi-provincial city is home to more than 32,000 people and businesses and services that encompass a regional population of well over 200,000. In this area, agriculture and energy keep the economic heart beating, but oil and gas production has long been the principal driver of our city's growth, prosperity, and the quality of life we enjoy. Since the first discoveries of the Canadian heavy oil, Lloydminster has been an instrumental part of the story, helping build the foundations for an entire industry through boldness, innovation, and perseverance. The first documented oil strikes in this region came in the late 1920s. A growing number of producing wells necessitated development of refineries, which in turn drove the development of even more wells. And the rest, as they say, is history. Over the next 85 years or so, Lloydminster experienced booms and bust cycles, alongside an ever-fluctuating global demand for our heavy crude. As a community, we weathered these cycles valiantly. And through it all, we understand that the ebbs and flows were simply part of life in an oil town. It was tough, but a fair deal, and even though hard times, optimism remained. But what is happening right now is an altogether different sort of struggle, and even the most seasoned industry veterans will tell you that they have not witnessed anything like the hurt and heartache our community is experiencing today. The Canadian petroleum industry has endured serious challenges since 2014, and the Lloydminster area is no exception. We've seen a mighty community and businesses brought to their knees. We've seen the consequences of rising unemployment and increasing economic desperation. We've seen family and friends lose their homes and businesses. In Lloydminster, we've learned to accept the ups and downs that come with the oil and gas way of life. But what we cannot accept is having our livelihoods threatened by those who aim to exclude Alberta and Saskatchewan oil from both the Canadian and global marketplace. For the past 5 years, we have not been given the opportunity to compete on a level playing field as our oil remains landlocked by ill-advised policy driven by the interests of non-domestic political lobbyists. Despite what those lobbyists would have you believe, Western Canadian oil companies are among the safest and most environmentally responsible producers on the planet. Never mind the hundreds of millions in charitable and generous contributions these companies have made in our villages, towns, and cities each year. Yes, times are hard in Lloydminster, but we still believe better days are ahead. It is in this spirit of optimism that we call upon our fellow municipal leaders, provincial and federal governments to, at the very least, fight to give our oil and gas producers a fair opportunity to market their product, in turn generating income and tax revenue for all levels of government in Canada for all Canadians. According to the Canadian Association of Oil Well Drilling Contractors, each working drilling rig supports more than 140 direct and indirect jobs. In other words, one oil and gas job creates 6 more jobs. Now, just imagine the opportunities, the livelihoods represented by the hundreds of drilling rigs, service rigs, and other mighty machinery currently sitting idle in our compounds across our region. I once heard hope described as being able to find light despite being surrounded by darkness. And despite being mired in unprecedented adversity, hope remains very much alive in Canada's heavy oil capital. But without meaningful action on your part, that hope will take us only so far.